adequate authorities for a while now. And that is the reason why we had to appoint these numbers, so that all the ministries will have a head, pending when we might also have your political head. You are the administrative heads. So we're doing this because we want to chart a proper course for this government. We can't achieve those things while we sit here alone. It can only be done when there are capable lieutenants, and you are those lieutenants. I want to urge you all, don't be political. Stand your ground. I will always stand for the right thing.
Our correspondent reports that the head of service, George Nweke, presented the new permanent secretaries with keys to their official SUVs.
And every person has been following up the administration of His Excellency. We note some important things that have happened since he came in as governor of the state. One of the key promises he gave was that he was going to make the working environment of civil servants to be very, very conducive. So human beings working for Rivers State government will bring out the best in them, and has been showing the examples of what it takes to improve the environment of civil servants. Here today, he has provided 16 vehicles for the 16 newly appointed permanent secretaries.
Meanwhile, Lagos-based political analyst Laboros Oshoma believes the appointment is another way for Governor Fubara to checkmate the loyalists of former Governor Wike, who are set to be reappointed as commissioners. Oshoma spoke to correspondent Soibi Oruwari.
The permanent secretaries are the statutory head of the ministry, but why the commissioners are the administrative heads, the eye of the governor, the mouthpiece of the governor. So a situation where you have commissioners who are not in west and indeed the mouthpiece of the governor in those areas, knowing fully well where their loyalty lies, the governor would want to have permanent secretaries who will indeed be able to checkmate those commissioners who are supposedly representing him but not representing him in actual sense. What we see is the preparation for the forthcoming election where everybody, we consolidate on their end.
But a member of Action Alliance, Joe Princewill, disagrees, saying the appointment of the permanent secretaries has no political undertone.
I do not see any political coloration to the appointments the governor just made. And this is what we have always known the civil service for. If you notice, almost all the local government areas are represented in that appointment. This has always been the practice from time immemorial. But in the last administration, it was politicized. The appointment of permanent secretaries was purely political. Some of those who have retired were given contracts, thereby denying those already in service the opportunity to grow in the system.
Moving on, the president of the Coalition of Rivers Youth Movement, Innocent Onunwo, says he will not allow sponsored protesters to undermine the existing peace in Rivers State. He said this after the state chairman of the civil society organization, Senefa George Will, threatened that they would protest at the INEC office today to pressure INEC into conducting an election to fill the alleged vacant seats in the State House of Assembly. Well, Mr. Onunwo says his group went on a peaceful walk to the INEC office to ensure that the commission's activities were not interrupted.
Should know that we are here and we dare him to come out. If he is a slow leader as he claims, any day, anytime, NFA, George Will and his cohort plan to hit the street of Port Harcourt, we, the Coalition of Rivers Youth Movement, we shall be waiting and will give him a stiffer resistance. Enough is enough, NFA, George Will in Rivers State. NFA is being sponsored by certain individuals who believe that they can achieve their political relevance through NFA, George Will and his cohorts. Enough of that. If you want to be play partisan politics, let him come out openly and stop hiding under the offices of CLO and be.
Well, Mr. Onunwo also accused the Nefa George Will of being a card-carrying member of a political party.
NFA is a card-carrying member of a political party called AAC. NFA has held position of state secretary of AAC. We know he's a politician. That is to say that he is playing to the interest of his paymasters, and that is our annoyance. Any peaceful succession agitation of Rivers Youth of any kind is welcome, but not that which is being sponsored by politicians to cause crisis. Rivers State is peaceful and we want to ensure that that peaceful coexistence is maintained. That is the position of the Coalition of Rivers Youth Movement.
In his reaction, the chairman of the civil society group, Nefa George Will, said there is no law preventing anyone, even if they are a member of a political party, from engaging in a protest. Meanwhile, the protest was suspended. In other news, scores of tricycle operators, otherwise called keke drivers, were stopped from continuing their protest in Rumarolu community of Obekwa local government area of Rivers State. The keke drivers who assembled at the T-junction axis of the community in preparation for the Day 2 protest against the enforcement of a land and load system met resistance from youths of the community who chased them away. About 2 tricycles were vandalized in the process. Now, some passers-by ran for their safety as hoodlums wielded cutlasses, sticks and bottles, while normalcy has since returned following police intervention. Meanwhile, the traditional ruler of the community, Eze Bekwelewele, called for peace.
Everybody should remain calm, both indigenous and non-indigenous. Everybody should remain calm for now. Let us find the remote of this issue, because we need to get the proper remote of the issue before we find a solution. And we are working to find a solution. So for now, everybody should go about his business.
Some shop owners in Maiwan Market, Rumowoji Phase 2 today protested to the government's house over the failure of the government to hand over their shops back to them since the market got burnt in 2013. Well, some of them who spoke to our correspondent said they have gone through hardship since fire destroyed the market. Now, some of the shop owners disagreed with the plan to use balloting to allocate the shops to them, and they appealed to Governor Fubara to help resolve the problem. In another development, President Bola Tinubu met with service chiefs and leaders of other security agencies at the State House in Abuja today, following the rise in terrorism, kidnapping and killings across the country. Still to come, NNPCL uncovers 83 illegal refineries in Niger Delta. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. President Bola Tinubu has praised his predecessor, former President Muhammadu Buhari, for not interfering in the composition of his 48-man cabinet. Well, the president spoke in Abuja at the launch of a book authored by former presidential spokesman Femi Adesina. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, failed to honor the invitation of the Code of Conduct Bureau over an ongoing investigation on an alleged breach of the Code of Conduct for public officers. Well, the spokesperson for the Code of Conduct Bureau, Veronica Kato, said the minister informed them that he was on a national assignment. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, says it has uncovered about 83 illegal refineries in the Niger Delta in the past week. The NNPCL disclosed this on its X handle today. It said 15 illegal pipeline connections were also discovered within the same period. But the NNPCL said between 6th January and 12th, a total of 211 incidents of oil theft and vandalism were reported. And on the foreign scene, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says unification with the South is no longer possible, and he says the constitution should be changed to designate it as the principal enemy. But Mr. Kim also said 3 organizations dealing with reunification would shut down. And that's the news, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you heard that Rivers State Governor Fubara has dismissed insinuation of a political undertone in his appointment of 16 permanent secretaries. Well, youths have stopped protesting tricycle operators in Rumagolo, Rivers State. President Tinubu today met with the service chiefs over the rising insecurity in the country. And on the foreign scene, North Korea has cancelled unification talk with South Korea. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you for listening.